They say trust is the foundation of every relationship. I used to believe that until the weekend that changed everything. Samantha and I had been dating for 3 years. We met at a trivia night at a bar near campus, and from the moment she laughed at my dumb joke about Shakespeare being the original ghostwriter, I was hooked. She was magnetic, smart, stunning, funny, with this fire in her that made everything feel exciting. We moved in together after a year and a half. Life wasn't perfect, but it felt real. It felt good. So when she told me she was going on a girls' trip to Miami with her college friends, I didn't question it at first. She packed 3 bikinis, a pair of sunglasses she never wore anymore, and a book she hadn't touched in months. I remember watching her throw her flat iron into her suitcase and say, "You better not burn the house down while I'm gone." She smiled, kissed me on the cheek, and left. That was Thursday. By Friday morning, something inside me started itching, a feeling I couldn't shake. I wasn't the jealous type. At least, I didn't think I was. But this time, something felt off. Maybe it was the way she'd hesitated before telling me the names of the girls she was traveling with, or the fact that none of them had posted a single photo on social media. And these were women who documented everything from their Starbucks orders to their morning workouts. I tried to dismiss it. I wanted to dismiss it. But the mind is a cruel thing when it smells smoke. So I did something I never thought I'd do. I opened her old iPad, the one that still had her iCloud connected, and looked at her location. She wasn't in Miami. She was in Asheville, North Carolina, a tiny, artsy mountain town, nowhere near the beach. And she was alone. At least, that's what it looked like. I told myself there might be a reasonable explanation. Maybe they had changed plans. Maybe the location wasn't updating properly. But the truth was clawing its way through the pit of my stomach, and I couldn't ignore it anymore. So I packed a bag and drove 6 hours. 6 hours of second-guessing. 6 hours of trying to convince myself I wasn't crazy. 6 hours of imagining her laughing with friends. Maybe annoyed at me for being so suspicious. When I arrived, it was past midnight. Her location pinged at a small boutique hotel. I parked across the street in full stalker mode, heart racing, hands trembling. I sat there for a good hour before I saw it. A silhouette in the window. 2 of them. One was clearly Samantha. The other, a man. They kissed. He pulled her close. She laughed. The same laugh that once made my chest swell with love. I filmed it, not out of revenge, not for proof. I don't even know why. Maybe because I needed to see it again later to convince myself it was real. Maybe because some part of me still hoped I was hallucinating. The next morning, I waited until they left the hotel. I followed them to breakfast at a local cafe, holding hands, to a park where they took selfies, to a little antique store where he bought her a necklace. She wore it. The same neck she said only I could kiss. I didn't confront her that weekend. I drove home in silence, replaying everything we'd ever done together. Vacations, fights, birthdays, stupid inside jokes. All of it felt counterfeit now. She came home Sunday night, sun-kissed and smiling. "Miss me?" she asked, throwing her suitcase by the door. I stared at her for a long time. "Did you have fun with the girls?" I asked. "Yeah," she said without blinking. We mostly stayed at the hotel and did spa stuff. It was relaxing. That was the moment I knew. I showed her the footage the next morning. I didn't yell. I didn't curse. I simply played the video on my laptop while she sipped her coffee. Her face went pale. Her lips trembled. "Please," she whispered. "I can explain." But I was already standing. "There's nothing left to explain, Sam. I trusted you, and you burned it all down." She tried texting, calling. She sent long paragraphs that started with "I made a mistake" and ended with "I still love you." But I never responded. I deleted her number, blocked her on everything, and returned the necklace, yes, that necklace, by mail with no note. People talk a lot about heartbreak, like it's this loud, dramatic thing. But for me, it was quiet. It was the stillness of a house that no longer felt like home. The cold side of the bed. The toothbrush you left behind. But it was also clarity. Clarity that sometimes The lies we believe are softer than the truth we deserve. And sometimes, following your gut, no matter how painful, is the only way to survive betrayal. I followed her because something felt wrong. What I found broke me, but walking away healed me. It's been 8 months since that weekend. The pain isn't as sharp now. It's dulled into something manageable, like an old scar you forget about until it itches in the cold. I've moved out of the apartment we shared, started over in a new place with white walls and no memories. There's a plant on my windowsill that I haven't killed yet. That feels like progress. Sometimes I still wonder if she thinks about me, if she regrets it, if the guy she was with ever found out that he was the other man. But those questions don't matter anymore, because I've learned something valuable. The truth doesn't just set you free. It burns away everything false, leaving only what's real behind. What was real is this. I love someone who lied. I followed my instincts, and I walked away with my dignity intact. Some people say I shouldn't have followed her, that it was obsessive, that I should have just trusted her word. But if I hadn't gone, I'd still be sleeping next to a lie, calling it love. Now I sleep alone. And for the first time in a long time, that feels like peace.